people, it's Mr. back again with DoreOnTour's channel, and I've got a special guest. Last time I spoke to this guy, Forest was all gloom and doom, but now we're in a happy place. But I've got like a special guest, the man himself, Mr. Kevin Campbell. How are you doing, Kev?
Mr. Dore, I'm good. Everybody watching and anybody who's going to be watching this, good to see. Forest have got a footing in the division again, and things are looking on the up.
A little up again. But like I said, people, if you have any questions that you want to ask Kevin, put them in those below. I've got a few people that want to come on later on. We'll talk to Kev about. It could be Forest, could be about his playing career, and all sorts for us. Put the comments below. But Kevin, like I said before, we just came on live. Last time I spoke to you, Kev, Forest was all doom and gloom. And since then, Chris Hughton's gone. But we'll talk about Chris Hughton first. But, like, looking back on it, I felt sorry for him, but do you think it was the right time, like, to Forest get rid of him at that time?
Well, listen, at the end of the day, Mr. Dove, I know Chris Hughton. Chris Hughton's a good friend, a good man, but it never worked out for him. You could see it just never worked out, and sometimes it happens that way. You know, when you were even times where you're in winning positions, you can't get over the line. You know, very difficult spell. And, you know, if you don't get the results, Mr. Dore, the inevitable is going to happen. And listen, at the end of the day, when they're seeing things not working, they took a chance and they made the decision. Now, the only way you find out whether that's a right or wrong decision is by the results after. Yeah. And boy, they've got it right. You have to say that the board and everybody concerned have got it right. Sad that Chris Hughton didn't work out, but you got to say Steve, you know, Mr. Cooper coming in. Steve Cooper, wow. I call him Mr. Cooper. You know, listen, I think maybe there was a soft, he comes in with a soft touch. He's got a tough mentality, but he comes in with maybe a softer touch, and he wins players around that way. And all of a sudden, I mean, the team set alight. Massively set alight. Massively. You know, brilliant. Great performance away at Birmingham, which is obviously been a banana skin for years.
Yes. 100%.
You know, and the Forest win comfortably. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah. But like I said, there's been quite a lot of Forest fans, and when Chris Hughton was manager, like the difference between Hughton and Cooper, like, as you know, Kev, like, it's important that the manager has connections with the Forest fans. I think that what it lacked with Chris Hughton. We know that Chris Hughton came to Forest under the pandemic, and it was hard for him to connect with the fans. Yeah. And have you been there, Kevin? Like, as a player, whatever manager that you've been around, it's important to be connected with the fans.
Yeah, listen, it's always. The fans are such an important part of any football club. And you know what? I say this to fans all the time. The fan base is the 12th man. Yeah. I am telling you, the fan base is the 12th man. Once they're on side, they're your extra man, especially at home, and can make a racket away from home to keep the players focused and going for that result. Now, because it was pandemic, it's very difficult to get a connection because there's nobody there. Yeah. You know, it's kind of Chris Hughton's working from a deficit.
Yeah.
But again, like I always say, Mr. Dore, it's about results. This business is about results. Yeah. And the results just never came quick enough for Chris Hughton. And then when the fans come back, it adds even more pressure because now the players have to contend with the fan base.
Yeah.
Things aren't going well, and the murmurs and the groans and they're just losing football matches makes every fan unhappy.
100%.
So the trigger was pulled, and look at Forest now. I mean,
that's what I'm talking about, Kev. That's what I'm talking about. Like, Steve Cooper is coming, and Kevin, I don't know if you know, I was lucky enough to meet Steve Cooper.
Yes, I did see that. So I wanted to ask you a question because I know Steve Cooper.
Yeah,
I know Steve Cooper. He's a very, very good man, good coach, proving to be a really good manager.
Yeah.
What was your impressions of him, Mr. Dore?
Kevin, he was it was funny because I got to the ground and he knew who I was. He said to me, "How you doing, Ben? Are you all right?" Blah, blah, blah. And I got to the meeting, there's other people there, and the way he come across, Kev, and we can say, managers can say, oh, they've got to be, they're trying to dodge the seriously questions.
The straight questions,
The straight questions, but he didn't dodge them at all. He didn't dodge them at all. He was straight with all Forest fans. He could say, oh, I'm trying not to answer the right questions, but he asked all the questions that Forest wanted. And I thought, to hear that as a Forest fan, it's great.
It's a good start, isn't it? It's a good start. It's a good start.
And I said, Kevin, 1 defeat in 9, he's backed everything. Everything that he said, and that conversation that he said, he's backed it up. And I think that's what Forest fans miss. Like, under Chris Hughton, under Samuel Lumucci, the past managers, they've not heard that. And yes, as you know, Kevin, it's been so long we're in the Premier League. And Cooper says, it's not going to be like that. We're going to win. We're going to lose. But I need Forest fans be with me. If you want me to connect with you, you've got to be with me. And that's what Forest fans want. And to be in that meeting, it was just like, wow.
Music to your ears, right?
Yeah, music. And that's what we want. That's what Forest want. We want connection. We want Cooper to be connection with the fans. Yeah. And Kevin, and the best thing about it, it was his choice. It wasn't Forest's choice to do this meeting. It was his choice. And to hear that, for wow. And
he's reaching out to the fan base as opposed to the other way around. Yeah, brilliant.
It's so good, but Kevin, it was just like, but let's talk about, like I say, Forest have lost 1 in 9, and I don't
form guide. Let's look at the form guide, right?
Like
in the last 6.
Wow.
I mean,
it's like games against Barnsley. We never beat Barnsley away. We battered them. You mentioned Birmingham. We battered them. We played against Huddersfield. We never win there. We battered them.
Yeah.
We won our first game at home to, I don't know, we lost 1-0 against 2-1 against Blackpool. Our first win since 19 months.
Wow.
It's just amazing. And I don't want to be disrespectful to Chris Hughton. If we was 1-0 down, Kevin, we won't fight. And Cooper, the last 2 games against QPR and Sheffield United, we haven't got that losing mentality now no more because we're 1-0 down. We game. I mean, even mentioned Bristol City. Kevin, did you see the Bristol City game?
Yes, I saw the highlights.
Kevin, I have never gone mad in my life. I screamed like a bitch.
Jeez.
I've never screamed like a bitch in my life, but that mentality, it's just, Kevin, it reminded me of, that game we played against, you was in it, when we beat Birmingham 2-1, the Pierre Van Hooydonk free kick.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah, I played in that game, at their place, 2-1.
It reminded me of that, Kevin. The Steve Cooper effect. It's got the fans happy, jolly, and look, Kevin, I'm happy.
It's a big change from the last one, so this should be a good show.
It's a good show, but it's just like, Kevin, like I said, have you been you've been in the football level, and when you're in the down, when you're down, and a new manager comes up, what's it like? Like when the first day you meet the manager, do you think, yes, I'm pumped up. I've got to do what I've got to do now to get these fans on our side.
Well, what you got to remember is that you can't really take the fans into account when you first meet the manager, because that kind of thing will take care of itself.
Yeah.
But as a player, obviously you've just had a manager, so all that work you've done with the previous manager goes out the window. Now it's a clean slate.
Yeah. So
players who maybe never got an opportunity, all of a sudden are coming into training early because you know what I mean. They've got a new manager to impress.
Yeah.
Players who obviously are in the team, who are playing, who are experienced. It's just a matter of meeting the manager. They've probably done some homework, rang a few boys who they know have played with him or played it for him or whatever.
Yeah.
And just trying to get a gauge of what the manager's like.
Yeah.
But instantly, most of the lads will work out whether they like him or not.
Yeah.
And I think that is key. The fan base like him.
Yeah.
But you cannot get the results, Mr. Dore, if you don't have that likability as a manager.
Yeah.
Because the players have to be able to dust themselves down when they go goals behind and come back.
Yeah.
And as you said previously, there was really no fight. Now you're seeing them go behind and win games.
Yes, 100%. And the thing of it, Kevin, like, as you as a striker as well, like with the previous show that we had together, I slated Lewis Grabban. And like I said, it wasn't too difficult to Chris Hughton. Cooper now has got Lewis Grabban, like I think Lewis Grabban's 34 years old, and he's acting like he's 23 again.
He's turned the clock back, hasn't he?
He's turned the clock back again. I think, and that's what Forest missed. That's what I miss. And as you, Kevin, like I said, I mentioned, like, when new managers come in, do you get that buzz and thinking, I need to impress this manager to get on his side and keep playing again?
100%. That's the name of the game, Mr. Dore. That is the name of the game. New manager comes in, you've got to impress him straight away. You know why? Because you want to be in the team.
Yeah.
And you know, if you get going as Nottingham Forest, one, you're king of Nottingham.
Yep.
And two, that ground is going to be bouncing.
Yeah.
Because you've got everybody behind you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got everyone with you. So, again, I just think they pulled the trigger at the right time. Sad for Chris Hughton, but Steve Cooper's come in and he's made a real difference to the squad. And everybody wants to play. That's the difference as well. Everyone wants to play.
Yeah. Right. So people, like I said, I put on my Twitter that people can come in and ask Kevin Campbell some questions. It could be Forest related. It could be football related. But first, I've got in, Kev. I've got Lee Goodburn. He's a Forest fan as well. I think he's desperate to see you as well. But we'll bring Lee in.
How you doing?
How you doing, Lee?
Hi, Lee.
How you going, Kev?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, happy.
I'm sure you are at the moment.
Listen, I enjoy actually going to games again now. I've got to admit, under Hughton, I struggled to watch it. I was there. Always there, always turn up. But I found it hard watching. And now, even when we lost to Fulham, I wasn't upset. I can, if we play well and lose, you lose to the better side, I'm still
You
happy.
hold your hands up. You hold your hands up, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah.
So Lee, ask question in, Lee.
But that being said, I think we're still light up front. I think we need someone young, energetic, and obviously there's a bit of, people aren't decided on this, but if we were going to take someone on loan, I'd want Brewster, because he's young, lively, he moves, and I think Cooper, like he's done in the past, can get the best out of him. If we had money to spend, I'd want Jerry Yates, someone like Jerry Yates. In your opinion, who would you take if there's anyone I've not mentioned, or, in your opinion, realistically at our level?
Yeah, the one problem you've got is Sheffield United are a competitor to you.
Very true.
And listen, it's like we're all competing, and then you want one of my guys to come to your team to make you stronger and weaker me. I can't do that business.
We got Max Lowe, didn't we? From there.
Yeah, but I can't do that business. I know if Rhian Brewster links up with Steve Cooper again, and he hits half the form that he did when he went to Swansea, that makes it more difficult for Sheffield United to move.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
So I think it's a really difficult one, to be honest with you. Maybe if you go a bit lower in the Championship, because anybody above, they're looking to keep their score. They're looking to take players of Forest.
Yeah.
So who would you find? Because it's not easy, like you say. Who's out there?
Listen, there's a lot of players out there. It's difficult to name a name. I mean, look, you can go for an experienced striker if you want, but you've got experience there.
We need hungry, someone young, hungry, who will just.
You need young. You need hungry. What you might need to do is go to a Manchester United or.
No, Cam. We don't want no Man U player. We don't.
No. But listen. You might need to go to Manchester United. You might need to go to an Arsenal or somebody. There's a lad at Arsenal called Balogun, who is lively, hungry, quick, can score goals, can do it all.
Pull some strings then, Kev.
Wait, there's no. Listen, there's no. When my son's in the championship as well, I'm out. Forest, one of my clubs, my son's at Stoke. Listen, I can't pull any strings. But I would look somebody like that. You've got the experience already there.
Yeah.
You need somebody young, hungry, quick, who can make a difference and get the Forest fans on their feet. You know, Balogun's one of them. I'm telling you, he's a real talent.
Good player, Balogun is.
Real talent.
Send Tutu back then and swap him for him then.
Well, I don't know about that one, but you know that he's one of maybe 2 or 3, I suppose, who you can go for. But trying to get a player out of another team in the championship who's around where you are, I think it's going to be a hard one, especially if you're not buying him.
Yeah, I understand. Lee, thank you very much for coming on. I've got quite a lot of people. But yeah,
cheers, Lee.
Respect
to you, Lee.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Cheers, Lee. Next one, we've got the lesson. Nottingham DJ. He's a legend. This guy's a legend. He's getting everywhere. I think he's got his suit on. He's got his special suit on. Here he is. Here's the Sanj. How you doing, Sanj?
I'm all right. How are we, boys? You okay?
Hi, Sanj.
Hi, Kev. You all right, mate?
I'm good, mate.
Go away, Sanj. Ask away, Sanj.
Yeah, but a huge fan, Kev. I was absolutely gutted when you left Forest, but I remember that season where you were playing there with Van Hooijdonk and the Bartman, and I just wanted to know what were the celebrations about?
Well, they were all different. if you notice, they were all different, and sometimes they'll change week to week, Sanj. You know, you could do these things when you're confident and you know that you're going to go and you're going to take teams apart. That's what we're about at Forest. We had all the quality. We had a team who were Premiership players who had a bad run in the Premiership, and we're in the Championship. So we believed in ourselves. But a lot of the time, Bartman blames me, and yeah, I suppose I was. I love to listen. If we're celebrating, that means we're winning, Sanj. You know what I mean? So definitely get that going. I think the fans liked it as well. All the celebrations, have a bit of fun, win games, home and away. And they were all different stuff, but all to do with fun.
Yeah, and I think you could see that. You could see that with you and particularly the Bartman and the little dancing and stuff that you did. You could see that you were enjoying it.
I spoke to him about the dance. Yeah, he needs to sort it out again. He needs to sort it out.
Well, you've got a new team. Obviously winning games now, which is great to see. And, your Lewis Grabban and these guys, get the boys together and make sure you get some celebrations in, because you know what? It does make a difference when you get a celebration and then you see it later on and you were there. It does make a difference. I watched the, that season review again for Forest. Yeah. And the amount of celebrations and the amount of opportunities we got to celebrate with the fans, that's infectious. And it was like it was yesterday for me.
As you know, I don't know if you know Kevin Sands, he's a DJ. He does DJ music, and I don't know if people please go and follow Sands in the middle. He does fantastic music. He does his own podcast as well, don't you, Sands? Do a little plug.
Thanks, mate. I've been around the Nottingham scene for about 20 years, but it's just we did a lot of stuff over lockdown on because we weren't able to play out live, and just seemed to have brought the music and football community together. And nice. It's going really well, mate. My podcast and everything. Thank you for that. And I appreciate you having us on. It was just one last thing I wanted to ask Kev.
Yeah, can I ask you what's the name of your podcast?
Oh, right, okay. So it's just called Sanjberry. It's on iTunes, and yeah, it's free to download every week. It's basically vocal house, feel good music, and yeah, we've got people all over the world listening to it at the moment. It was number one in Belarus at one point. Don't ask me how, by the way, but
it don't matter as long as you're number one somewhere. That's good.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I appreciate all the support. Local people are brilliant in Nottingham, and they all seem to be supporting us. So thank you for that.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, you had another question to finish.
Yeah, I did, and it was about. I loved that season. Obviously, you were playing for us, and then I was on holiday, and I found out that you'd left, and I was gutted. And I just wanted to know about what your thoughts were on it, and because we really missed you and we really needed you, and we'd waited to that point for it to all click, and it clicked, and then we found out that you'd gone, and it was heartbreaking for me. So I was a lot younger then, but we went to all the games, and we used to go to away games when we were younger, looking forward to seeing you and Van Hooijdonk play. And it was we terrorised teams. What was it, 55 goals between the two of you? Then you went, and we were just like, oh my God, gutted. So just want to know your thoughts on it, really.
Sanj, it was actually 60 odd. But anyway, let's not split hairs, Sanj. Let's not split hairs, right? It was 60. So we were the high scoring duo in Europe. Look, you could see that we felt it. We loved being at the club. We loved playing for Forest. We loved the fan base. We loved the city. I think there was a real connection with that team and the city anyway, which was fantastic. But when you get new owners, Sanj, unfortunately, as you've probably worked out now, they have a different idea of what they want. Now, you would think this team have won the championship. They're all Premiership ready. They're all played in the Premiership. They all know we expect to not struggle in the Premiership. Why would you want to mess it up?
I know.
And till this day, I still don't know why. You know what I mean? I still don't know why. All I know was, out of everybody, myself and Colin Cooper were the ones, really, who were told, we don't have a future at the club anymore, and it's in our best interest to go, Sanj. So when something like that happens, you have to take them seriously. They've pumped the money in, so, the writing's on the wall. They want you out.
100%.
That was a real shame anyway. I was gutted. Anybody that you speak to at Forest, who's a Forest fan, will always ask that question: what could have been if we'd have kept that side together?
Oh,
what could have been? And
I know this. I know this much. That side would have been worst case mid-table in the Premiership. Worst case.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Worst case. In fact, we might have done better than that because we had the firepower.
Oh yeah,
100%, 100%. But yeah, Sanj, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much as well. And as well, people, please go and follow Sanj. He's one of the best DJs around. So please go and follow him. I will put his link below so people can go and follow him. But yeah, Sanj, peace and love, and thank you very much.
Yeah,
Sanj,
peace and love, guys. Thank you so
Cheers,
much.
Sanj. Thanks, mate.
Mate, as well. Love the bow tie, man.
Nice one. Dicky Bow Thursday, yeah.
Big love, Ben. Take care.
Cheers, bye.
Sanj. Cheers,
Bye.
Sanj. Right, next one. We've got Des, and he's outside the city ground. How you doing, Des?
I'm all right. How are you?
Hi, Des.
Are you all right, guys?
Wow, look, is that club shop there? Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Quality.
Des, ask away, Des.
Right, I just kind of following on from Sanj a little bit there. We were talking about that season when you was banging all those goals in. And last time I spoke to you, last time you was on Mr. Door, I asked you a question about the Reading game.
Yeah.
There's another game that pops into my head towards the end of the season, the Bradford away game, and the celebration as well. You and the Bartman were celebrating, but we won 3-0. I just wondered if you had any recollection of it. I think I remember there was like 4 seasons in one game. It was snowing.
Yes, snow, rain, sleet, and sunshine. At one stage. Yeah, I think we were all in white that day. We had the white tops, white shorts, and white socks.
Yes.
And, I think Bart and I, we'd worked out, listen, if you score and I'm not there, I've got to find you, you know what I mean, or whatever. So we worked it out. And, I think we were 2-0 up at the time, and then we scored the final goal. And we were right in front of, obviously, all the Forest fans. Yeah. Obviously, winning away from home is always sweet, isn't it? But, me and Bart just decided to do some old reggae wine. You know what I mean? Some old reggae wine.
That makes me laugh, man. I can't stop that.
Some old-time reggae wine. And because we listened to the music and stuff like that, we just decided to do that. And, it went down pretty well, so that was good.
It was an awesome performance. I remember, just thinking back now, you were like York and Cole. That day? You two was on the same wavelength.
Yeah, because Pierre didn't play that day, did he? Pierre didn't play. No. I don't think Pierre played that day. And but Bartman was so versatile, as you well know, Des.
Yes.
He could play. He could play. Centre back, sweeper, centre mid, left, right, striker. you know, and probably we needed him up there at times because in the end, when I couldn't play in that QPR game, the Reading game, he went up there and got the goal, didn't he, to put us over the line. So it was good to have Bartman in there and, you know, to be able to use all his qualities.
Yeah. Des, how come you're not doing a training? Like, always, Kev, Des, he's got a YouTube channel called Do Daily. And he does more mental health. Des, before you go, just tell Kev about your YouTube channel and what do you do?
So basically, during lockdown again, when I run a running club here in Nottingham from where I'm standing right now, and I was looking for ways to sort of help people and support people when we couldn't go out together. So I started a YouTube channel. There was a guy who was a big Forest fan who took his own life a few years ago within the running club. And I was just finding a way of just try to be relatable, like Mr. Dore and his channel and yourself speaking. You're enthusiastic, you're positive. I just try and find a way to relate what I do every day into sort of helping people, I guess, you know, try and add a little bit of humour, a little bit of enthusiasm, try and be positive all the time, you know. And I'm just speaking about my own experience, whether it's going to the match or going for a run or just sort of out and about. I've spoke to people like Mark Crossley, you know, who's obviously big on mental health.
Yeah.
And all these things just to try and help people who don't want to get into the technical side of it. You know, if you're suffering with a problem, you don't really want to talk about the neuroscience. That's for the doctors and the GPs. I'm just a guy who loves football, loves running, loves helping people, you know, and supporting people this way. So that's all I'm trying to do. And if you ever want to chat about that and help, I'll be more than up for it. But
well, I that's what I do, Des. You know, I do that myself, and I help a lot of people privately. I help people because, you know, a lot of the time people want their privacy to be able to deal with things in their own way. And I think you having a channel, Mr. Dore having a channel, you're helping people by being consistent. By being consistent there's a reliability about being consistent, which really does make a difference, especially during lockdown. Because let's just say you were going out at 7 every evening, for instance. People could set their clock to you, and they know I'm gonna get my fix kind of thing. I'm gonna be able to, you know, get some steam off at 7 o'clock. So if you can be consistent with people, then that's getting on the right track to help them. So fair play, Des. Fair play to you, mate.
Exactly
I respect everybody who helps people. Definitely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I try and go out at 8 p.m. every day just to offer like 5 or 10 minutes, just realistic stuff. You know, if I'm having a bad day, I try and express that. If I'm having a good day, I try and express that. You know, just so somebody can perhaps relate in one way or another.
Yeah.
But to speak to you about that.
You know,
Brilliant, Des. Brilliant.
I respect Des so much. Like, people, please go subscribe to Do Daily. He does a fantastic job, and I do watch it. If I feel down, just watch Des. And wait, Des, before you go, you've like Kev, I do give Des a little bit of stick for wearing his slingy because he wears his slingy a lot. So, Des, are you wearing slingy today before you go?
No, I've took it off. He finds the fact I fell over and almost broke my arm really funny. Look at his face.
He loves it. Look at him. He's loving it, isn't he?
No. Right, no. Right, Kev, before it goes, right, but like I said, he's got a YouTube channel. His thumbnail, his face was like this, and it's like, and when you look at it, it's just funny. And I said to Des, what are you doing? Why are you doing this with a thumbnail?
It's real, Dore. It's real.
But hey, Mr. Dore, here's the thing. It's making you laugh. Makes people smile.
Exactly.
Des is doing a good job, mate.
You did a fantastic job. Well, I said, well done, Des. But I appreciate Des, and thank you for coming on, Des.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Des. Bye, mate. Bye.
Peace and love. Next one, we've got the man. This guy. I've got his name's Glenn. He's a legend to me. And anyway, he is. How you doing, Glenn?
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi, Glenn. Hi, mate.
And Kevin, before Glenn comes on, this guy is a legend. I met him at QPR last Friday for the first time after a year, and he brought me out his own pocket a green screen for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this guy, for me, I do my YouTube channel to interact with Forest fans, and Glenn is one of them. and he didn't have to do it, and he did. And I just want to appreciate again for being
No,
that
that's lovely touch, Glenn. Well done. Thank you, mate. Any questions, Glenn?
Any questions, Glenn?
Yeah, I do actually. I grew up in Nottingham. In fact, the year after you left, sadly, I moved to Plymouth to start a teacher training degree, and I've worked in Lewisham,
Nice
school
one.
in Lewisham ever since, 20 odd years. There's a couple of current Forest players who have come through our school,
Right.
Jed and Lyle Taylor. And there's a number that, because of the nature of where the school is, I mean, I'm just walking down to Campbell to get my wife after work, actually. But obviously over there is Millwall.
Hey, Glenn, that's my manor. I know that manor. Hey, where are you? What park is that?
This is Telegraph Hill Park in Brockley.
Yeah.
On the corner from where I live.
Yeah.
I watched, actually, in preparation for this. Dawn got in touch a couple of hours ago and said that you might be coming on. And I know you're sort of Brixton boy, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's this sort of patch. Not coincidence actually why I'm standing up here, to be honest with you. The question I have is not Forest related, actually. It's more about football and more about young players. I mean, what advice would you give as a PE teacher that I could pass on to the 12 to 18-year-olds that I currently work with, that would give them that little bit of that nugget of advice? Because obviously they're working on their skills, they're working on their strength. But what would a young player need? You can, perhaps in your position, what would a young player need these days?
Yeah, I think the
obviously you've got
into the pros, because they want to make it, right? They want to make it.
Yeah.
So that whatever happens, and they're going to work on their skills, they're going to work on this, that, the other. The key thing that they're going to need is a thick skin. They're going to need a thick skin, because people think the journey is just straight. It is not. It is up and down, and people question you. You question yourself. There's times where you lose form, you get dropped, you're not in the team, you're this, that, the other. The focus has to be thick skin. I'm going through anyway. That's where I want to go, and you've got to keep your eye on the prize. The prize is to make it as a pro and to stay there. Not just to make it as a pro, play one game. You want to have a career, you've got to think about all the things that you do. And we know there's a lot of distractions. Let's just say that. And that's part of having that thick skin. Having that thick skin is not getting involved with the wrong crowd, not getting involved with some of the wrong stuff, because it's easy these days. You've got to keep persevering and training. It's all in one package, Glenn. All in one package. Thick skin and focus.
That's great. I mean, there was an analogy at one point. There was that if you're the tallest boy in the year and you're born before Christmas, then you've got more of a chance than the others. Is that still the case?
No. I think the game, in that sense, it used to be at one stage, the biggest, strongest lads get through. Now you're starting to see it's technique and more technical awareness. So it's not just size. So there's smaller boys who can make it, but you've got to be. The key to everything is, Glenn, you've got to be good, and you've got to be really good to make it. So if you're there, feeling sorry for yourself about, I can't do this or this one's bigger, you're never going to do it. That's why that thick skin has to be there. He might be bigger than me, but he's not as good as me.
Yeah.
He might be bigger, he might be stronger, but I'm better than him technically. I might be smarter than him. How do I get the better of him? That's the key.
Glenn, thank you very much for coming. I've got two more people to come on. But Glenn, it's been a pleasure. And again, Glenn, thank you very much. Cheers, Glenn. And I've got two more people come on. I got three from Matt. Who should I bring on next? Let me leave Matt on, because he's a bit of a troll on me. So I'll leave Matt last. Let me bring on another Forest legend, and he does his own voice podcast as well, Forever Podcast. Here he is, Freebie. How you doing, Freebie?
Can you hear me all right, Ben?
I can hear you perfectly.
I'm a bit worried because there's a load of building going on in that London that I'm in. So I'm in a wonderful world of Watford. You know what I mean?
Love it. How are you doing, mate? You all right, Freebs?
Kev, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, man. I remember getting that poster with you and the Bartman back to back in your lush suits when you signed, and I was like, look at these boys here. These are going to rip up some things. And also, randomly, I always associate the song "I Love You, Baby," which I think went off when you scored one time. So randomly, that's my connections, Kev. But yeah,
nice
doing all right,
one, nice one.
Ask away, Freebie. Any questions?
Well, do you know what I did was we do a thing called Forever Forest podcast, and I also write some songs about the players and stuff, and getting Fawaz out and people like that back in the day. And I asked a few of them there, because I thought I'll ask you generic, Kev. So I thought I'd go with some of these. Did you ever take a tackle off Psycho in training, and what was that like? There you go. There's one of them.
Yeah, loads. I've got the scars to prove it.
Still got me. So that's why you'd walk like that on a Sunday or something. Yeah.
Man.
Someone also went with a bit of a different one, and I'll see how well you handle this one diplomatically. Forget the best. Who's the worst footballer you've ever played with, Kev?
I've not played with a poor footballer. There's been players.
Let me go through that Forest team now.
Yeah, you go through it. I've not played with a bad footballer because to make it, you have to be good. But there have been times, obviously, where players have lost form.
Yeah,
and it's not nice when players lose form. I was one of them. I lost form at Forest in the second season, and it's not nice. But just like I said before, you have to have a thick skin, and you've got to keep coming because it will change, and that's what tends to happen. So, I tend to see the worst footballers when I used to watch the Sunday League. They're the worst footballers, trust me. Watching my brother's Sunday side, that was terrible sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with you. So in terms of that as well, which player did you always want to play with and why that you didn't?
Well, one of my favourite players of all time, who when I was young, I used to love was Cyril Regis. And obviously never got the chance to play with him. Obviously, I came to... When I joined Forest, I didn't really have a long time. Lars Bohinen left that season, didn't he?
Yeah.
He left that season. He was a really good player. I would have liked to have played with him a lot more because I thought what he had, he would have made my game a lot easier. But there ain't many players who, because I'm blessed that I came through the ranks at Arsenal and I played with a lot of my friends and peers. And won trophies, etc. I was lucky enough to play with Gaza late on in my career. Although he wasn't the force that he was, he still could take over a game at times. So
you still saw those feet doing their thing, yeah.
Yeah, and David Ginola joined Everton at the time. Mark Hughes joined Everton at the time. So there was a lot of real quality that joined. But maybe one I think I would have loved to have played with is Big Paul McGrath.
Oh,
I always used to love.
Aston Villa centre back.
Yeah, and Man United when he was at Man United, mate.
Yes.
Not against.
No, I played against Paul McGrath enough. Yeah, played against him, but what a gentleman, what a lovely guy, and him being a teammate, I would have loved to have played with him.
So, so you mentioned that, so just really quickly, Ben, it's like obviously for me as a Forest fan, I remember you really coming alive, obviously with Pierre. It was like that time of how it was. Why do you think that worked as a thing more so? And we'll say we're not knocking the other ones who's with there, but what was it about his game for you? Because we as fans can see it, but for you as a player going on the pitch, however it ended, it's a different story as Forest fans.
Yeah,
but for you, what did you just feel it straight away? Because I met a Celtic fan the summer we'd signed him, and he went, "Watch him warm up." He said, that's what I'll say. Watch him warm up. You'll see what I mean. And I did. We used to watch him hitting the free kicks and stuff. But did you see it straight away?
Not really. I mean, obviously,
or
I didn't know.
It's another geezer. Yeah.
No. But I didn't know Pierre. I remember I didn't know Pierre. I watched him play at Celtic, but I didn't know him. But quickly, I wanted to play on the shoulder as opposed to being the target man at Forest. I was bought to play on the shoulder. I wasn't bought to be the hold-up player for Brian Roy, and that's the way it turned out, when I first came to Forest. But as long as the team are doing okay and winning, you kind of get away with it. But second season, it didn't quite work out. Now, Pierre's game isn't being just a number 9. He wants to be the number 10 and he wants to link play, which suits my game down to the ground. And I remember speaking to Darren Fletcher, who was Radio Nottingham at the time, and me and him were having a conversation. He mentioned this on Radio 5 Live last Friday, that he remembers me saying to him, I don't want to be the number, I don't want to be the hold-up man, I want to be on the shoulder. Mm. And he said, right, okay. And then when he saw me and Pierre get together, Pierre liked to go deeper, and then I play on the shoulder. He said, that's when I realized, wow, exactly what you said came to pass. So again, players like to play where they're most comfortable. And
sure.
That fit with Pierre was just fit. It was sensational.
What a partnership. What a partnership.
Yeah, I'm going to end up, Ben, and say thank you for the 16-year-old of me in 1997, Kev. Thank you for giving me, after some of the tough times before it, a really amazing season, mate. So I really appreciate it, especially that one. I know there's more years.
No, Freebs, you're welcome, and it was a pleasure. It really was.
Before you go, Freebie, I know I just mentioned you've got a Forever Forest podcast. Do a little link before you go.
Yeah, of course, Ken. So we're on all your available podcasting ways and places you listen to, called Forever Forest Pod, which you can find us on Twitter and stuff as well. We had little snippets with Dore over at QPR this season. And we do various things. We do like a Who Are You Forest thing, where we try and find the unsung heroes, like the guy who screwed on the tree on the side of the Trent end and things like that. Not just your average, always having the same people on. And I make up songs about players. So I'll have to do a Kevin Campbell one, but we do it in the style that people ask.
You've got to watch it. He just
so we've had like Stuart Pearce in the style of punk, obviously. That we've had someone said we have Lars Bohinen in the style of Aha. So Kev, what style of music do you want your song to be in? And I'll try and get it for the next pod.
Well, I want my song to be in Bob Marley style.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to do Kev at Forest in the style of Bob Marley.
Nice.
And we'll make sure that either through Ben we get it to you, man. All right.
Nice one.
Brilliant.
Nice one.
Respect for that, please, mate.
Cheers, Freebs.
Thanks, Mr. Campbell. See you later.
Bye.
Man.
Bye.
Last but not least, Kevin, and this guy, I don't know if you know Kev. There's Kevin Campbell.
Yep.
In his younger days, and this guy's Matt. He does all the Forest connections, not just Forest. He does a lot of other stuff as well. And yes, he's here now.
Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm sorry you weren't playing these days rather than those, because all those celebrations, no one took enough pictures of them. So we had
I know.
They're just grainy videos I couldn't work from. So that wasn't my choice, but there you go.
I know.
Ask away, Matt.
Yeah, my question was the furore after Chris Hughton left. A lot of the players were described as cheats. Now, I'm interested to know what your opinion is on that, as someone who's been in a lot of dressing rooms over the years.
And who made that remark?
Well, Simon Jordan was the famous guy for saying it, and I just thought it was unfounded. And I think the background to it, there was no evidence of that. You know, they're damned if they do it, they're damned if they don't. They responded really well. And, you know, going back to Des and some of the others who are talking about mental health and strength of character, you could almost say maybe you needed a Dawson in the change room to stand up and, slap old Chris around a little bit or something like that, a bit like Pierre did, maybe. But but those allegations were made, and I personally think the players were suffering.
Matt, here's the crazy thing. When the Simon Jordans of this world, who has been a chairman, so he knows, when they make these type of comments, you and I know there is no truth behind it. It is just a hunch. You cannot say that about players on a hunch. But here's the spin on it. I think that comment might have got a few of them players riled up, because they, after Chris Hughton went and they were called cheats and all this kind of thing and not fit to wear this and that, the players proved that they are committed to the club. They proved that they do have the quality. And how do you do that? You do that by winning games. And here's the crazy thing, Matt. You never hear the likes of Simon Jordan come out and say, I was wrong.
No.
You never hear it. It's a throwaway comment that could actually hurt people. But when they prove you're wrong, they just move on. You know, they don't rectify the damage that they've done. So listen, if people are going to take what Simon Jordan says seriously, then I think maybe, they need to be listening to something else.
How many players did you know that didn't try, who wanted to play badly in your career? Any of them?
None. I don't know. And this is the crazy thing. Football is so competitive. It's so hard to get there, Matt. It's so hard to be a pro and then to get in the first team. No team goes out there to lose. I could tell you that. No team goes out there to not play well. Although we've all seen, I've been in teams where everything's gone wrong. But that's the life of a footballer. Not, even at the biggest clubs, things go pear-shaped from time to time. And it's not that the people ain't committed, it's just it isn't your time. And it's amazing, Chris Hughton couldn't get a win, couldn't buy a win. Steve Cooper comes in and it's a total flip. The switch has been flipped and the club are in the form guide 7th, flying, absolutely flying. So that's football, unfortunately. And people seem to think football is about, you can keep doing it. It's impossible. You just can't keep doing it. And especially in the championship, Matt.
And it's not about the money, is it? If you pay someone twice as much money, they don't suddenly become a better player. In your day, you didn't make quite as much money as you would do today and so forth. It makes no difference.
It doesn't.
To me, footballers are all people first. They're very, very lucky. It's like they've won the lottery 2 or 3 times because they've been given the gift to be able to play football. They get picked. They're at the right place at the right time if they're assuming they're in the team. But also they have to put in a huge amount of hard work, every single one of them. Ronaldo and Messi, to me, are probably, work as hard as anyone. They don't, it's the work you just take as granted. But they sometimes, when your luck's not in or whatever, when you're not on form, it doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't.
No.
And I don't know. And going back to like the the mental health thing, social media. I mean, these days it must be horrific when they see all these things that are said about you. Which again, you escaped a little bit, mind you. You might have taken a bit of that for a bit more of today's money, but
No, but you don't have to read it, Matt. You don't have to see it. You see,
though it's human nature, isn't it? You're going.
But you got to remember, if you're going to be a footballer now, you have to make a decision. It's either you leave yourself open for it, or you totally unplug and you let people handle your account. I know what I would do. I would let somebody handle my account.
Yeah. And I guess is that the same with your son? I don't know whether he's got it. Like, do you say to him, don't ever look, sort of thing?
Matt is an adult, so he makes his own decisions. But here's the thing. There's knowledge, wisdom, and there's youth and exuberance. He's young, he's youthful, social media is part of his life. But he understands now he's a professional footballer. So there comes where the rubber meets the road. You've got to understand what you can and can't do. Because football's hard enough, Matt, to try and get results, as opposed to leaving yourself wide open to criticism from fans. So it's difficult, and sometimes it's not even your own fans, is it? It's the opposition fans. Yeah. You might have made a challenge or something might have happened, and people just go for you. So it's a difficult one. It really is a difficult one.
Matt, thank you very much for coming on. Like I said, people, as everyone knows, Matt made me this one. So if anyone wants any stickers or anything, DM Matt, because Matt's the man. Matt's gonna make me some few stickers as well for my away trips. But Matt, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Matt.
Much, Kevin.
Lovely talking to you, mate.
Are you coming back to Nottingham soon to do some?
I will be. I'm hoping around Christmas, New Year time. But I'm going to let Mr. Door know so he can announce it. There you go. When I get it sorted, I'll let Mr. Door let everybody know, and we'll have a meet up.
Definitely.
Bring Pierre with you.
Listen, I don't even know where Pierre is in the world. I have no idea.
But Matt, that's about. Take care, Matt.
Cheers. Thank you, Matt. Cheers.
Cheers, dude. But thank everyone coming on for asking their questions. I know Kevin's a bit busy, but I'm going to ask a few more questions, Kev. Like I said, we've got Cooper, and everyone thinks now because he's on this fantastic run. I know it's early days. We're still in November, but I know it's been too long. It's been too long.
I know what the question's going to be.
I know you're going to ask me, Kev.
I know what the question's going to be.
Yeah.
Can Forest make the move up, right?
Yeah.
Towards the playoff? Because that's the key, isn't it?
That's the key.
Can they? Of course they can. Don't forget, do you remember when Aston Villa, a few seasons ago, when Aston Villa went up? Aston Villa, were in the bottom three, I think. They hit the bottom three.
Yeah.
And then they went on a run.
Yeah.
They lost some games, but they went on a run. In, I think it was about 27 games, they lost about 3 games, and that was it. So they're picking up points left, right, and centre. And you know in the Championship, if you win and you keep picking points up, you get moving up that table. So 100%. Can Forest do it? Yes, they can. Okay.
And Kevin, I was talking to a Forest fan the other day, and regarding parachute money, and you got teams like Fulham, West Brom, Bournemouth, they're doing fantastic. And as you know, Norwich, they're not doing great in the Premier League. Like, do you think this parachute money is affecting teams like Forest? I don't think Forest will ever get top 2 because the teams who always get relegation will always strength. They've got the money behind them. Do you think it's unfair from the teams like, I don't know, like you can mention Forest, Derby, or them kind of teams? Do you think it's hard for them to just get that top 2?
Well, listen. Well, what you got to do is you got to be consistent, and you got to have the quality to play. What you got to understand is, Mr. Dore, that they're not lucky because remember these teams have been relegated.
Yeah.
So calling a team who have earned the right to go in the Premier League, who then gets relegated back down. Remember, the budgets are bigger in the Premier League, etc. So they need to be able to quell some of that bleeding.
Yeah.
And that's what the parachute's money for. Yeah, they have better quality. They can keep most of the quality that they have. But you see the likes of Norwich. Yeah. Norwich lose a couple of players. And they're not the same. Yeah. Especially Buendia. You know, Vrancic goes, Buendia isn't there. And they're not the same team. Why? Because they can't open teams up as much as they used to.
Yeah.
So it puts more onus on the defence to defend. And in the Premier League, these are the best strikers around. You know what I mean? So it's a lot more difficult than that. The key to it is, by hook or by crook, Mr. Dore, you've got to get in the Premier League.
100%.
Because once you're on that carousel, even if you come down and go up a couple of seasons, all the time you're strengthening your club with better players left, right, and centre. So if you go up and you come down, you're a lot stronger for the Championship.
100%. Right, I was nearly up, Kevin. But before we do, Kevin, he's on an Arsenal channel called Arsenal Squad. Is it Arsenal Squad with Sophie?
Hybrid Squad.
That's hybrid. My Hybrid Squad. And people go and watch it because I watch it all the time. And Sophie, she's fantastic, and
she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
She's fantastic. I was like, you don't see as much female people on YouTube, but seeing Sophie and other female presenters as well, it's great to see. Like I said, I'm a Forest fan, but I still watch Arsenal or whoever it is. But Sophie is fantastic, and Kevin's on there. So people, if you do want, please go and watch it. The link is below, so people go and watch it. But last but not least, Kevin, I think the question is, when are you coming to Nottingham? Like the Matt just mentioned, are you coming to Nottingham?
Yes, I am. Listen, I'm working on it right now. Let me tell you, Mr. Dore. I think it might be in the new year. Christmas might be a little bit too soon, but I'm working on hopefully in the new year. I will be coming to Nottingham, coming to a game.
Yeah.
And then once I know I'm doing it, I can let you know, and then obviously we can work out whatever we're doing after that. And it will be great to be back because I love the city. I love Nottingham as a city.
Kevin,
Brilliant.
everyone keeps asking for you, like, Mr. Dawn, when's Kevin coming? I'll speak to him, but as you know, like Stoke, I think Stoke comes to Forest soon. I don't know when Stoke comes. I think your son's. I think Tyrese has started playing as well. Hasn't he?
Yeah, he's on the bench now. So he came on last night. So when Stoke come to Forest, if I'm free, I will let you know. I'll come down definitely.
100%. But like I said, Kevin, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, thank you everyone for coming on, giving Kevin some questions, but as well, it's just a pleasure for a legend, my eyes, Kevin Campbell, coming on my channel and just with his little dicky bird. Because next time I will wear the Thursday dicky bird.
No, you won't. By the way, this is the second time I've come on with a dicky bow. So come on, Mr. Dawn. You know on a Thursday, it's dicky bow Thursday.
Okay, I promise to all you people, I will wear the dicky bird and I will wear, tell Kevin, I will wear the dicky bird with a shirt. This time, but
you don't have to wear it with a shirt. You can wear it just like that. It's all right.
No, okay, because I've got a reputation.
Look the part. You got to look the part.
I've got to look the part. But people, thank you very much for everyone for coming on my channel. It's been a pleasure of Kevin coming on my channel. And if you are new to our channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And Kevin, hopefully Kevin, I'll see Kevin before the new year, and it's just like a pleasure to come on. But like I said, people, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow for the Preston preview as well. Peace and love, and up the Forest.